What's up, you guys? I hope you guys are doing well today. Today we're going to talk about self-esteem because this is something major that's plaguing the world, but especially our community. I know that is like my main focus is trying to get the Black community, trying to teach them, trying to learn us some stuff, because we is all lost, confused. It's the blind leading the blind, and we don't have no real ethics and values that we standing on anymore. So the women's self-esteem is low, the men's self-esteem is low, and that's what I want to talk about today. Because we got to do better. We have to learn to love ourselves. We have to learn to deem ourselves worthy. We have to learn to believe in ourselves. We have to stop looking for validation from external sources, because when you do that, you'll never receive it. As soon as they take it away, if they give it to you today and take it away from you tomorrow, then all of a sudden you feeling worthless again because somebody else don't validate you. They don't deem you worthy of love. They don't deem you worthy of affection. And a lot of this, first of all, I'm gonna read y'all a definition about what self-esteem is. So self-esteem is the confidence in one's own worth or abilities. Self-respect. It's faith in oneself. Self-respect is pride and confidence in oneself, a feeling that one is behaving with honor and dignity. And a lot of us don't have self-respect because we're not behaving with honor and with dignity, the men and the women. And it shows in your actions. It shows the way you allow people to treat you. It shows what you wear. It shows how you just give your body out, whether you're man or woman. It just shows in your everyday behaviors. It shows in your character. That's what shows how you feel about yourself. And a lot of this stems from how you were raised, how you were brought up, the childhood neglect, the way that parents and adults in general, whoever your caretakers were, whether they were parents, whether they were teachers, because it does truly take a village. It takes a village, but everything starts in the home. So if you get in a solid foundation of what love looks like in the home, of getting poured into and nurtured in the home, you won't go out in the world seeking validation. When the world tells you no, when the world calls you ugly, when the world says these mean things to you, it won't faze you so much, because you know at home, I'm getting poured into and watered every day, told how beautiful I am, told how loving I am. I'm getting hugs, kisses, affection. You're getting nurtured, you know, and that's a nurturer's role. A parent's role, because a lot of this stuff stems from childhood and it plays out into our adult. It plays out into our adulthood. If you look at most of the adults out here, all of us, everything we do as adults stems from a place of something that we didn't get during childhood that now we're seeking so diligently for now. Or even if you received those things during childhood, you're still looking for that. If you had a great childhood, you had great experiences, that set the tone for you. So now that's what you're looking out here in the adult. As an adult, you're looking for those same qualities. You're looking for those things. And a lot of us are out here seeking and seeking and seeking. We're lost souls that's seeking safetyness. We're seeking a safe haven for us. We're seeking somewhere we can finally feel vulnerable with. We're seeking that safe place. And a lot of times, you know, it really goes deep, because I was just watching a video about how it literally all starts as an infant. It really starts from when you in your mama's womb. It starts from when you in your mama's womb, the bonding and connection that you have to your parents that first start instill some worth into you. Feeling seen and heard even as a baby. This is why bonding, this is why they emphasize bonding when the baby first come out, putting it on your chest, loving it. I was just watching this video, and it was just showing they was doing a study, they was doing an experiment on the babies who were getting loved and the babies who weren't. They had the same mom to interact. She was normally interacting with the baby. And the baby was happy, cheerful, pointing, and the mom was looking where the baby was pointing. The mom was attentive to the child. And then the mom, they said, okay, now do straight face, just like be completely disengaged with the baby. Just sit there. And the baby's pointing, the baby's laughing, the mom is just sitting there straight like this, like totally dissociated. And the baby then, the way the baby picked up on the cues. Babies are very smart. I see it within my own baby. She's been she's been smart since when she was 1 month old. They know who their parents are. They know who they're getting the love from. This is why they gravitate towards a parent more than the other. You know, they know who they're getting what from. They're very smart. And a lot of people, a lot of us adults and kids now turned adults, a lot of us didn't get that emotional love. We didn't get that nurturing that we need. We just got our basic needs met. We just got basic needs met, getting changed, getting fed, getting clothed. You know, the stuff that these narcs love to say. I provided shelter, provided you with clothes, shoes, and food. I did my job. No, baby. As a parent, you have a dual role. You have two separate roles that you need to play in one. 2 duties: to provide and protect, and to nurture, to pour into, to water them, to give them the attention, the love, the affection, the encouragement, the validation. It's more, it's more than just tending to the basic necessities of making sure, because that's a given. A kid can get that anywhere. They can get clothes, shoes. They can give that to you in the shelter. They give that to you in the shelter. And a lot of these kids are not getting that. So then you grow up. As you grow, you start looking for this attention out in the world. You start looking for it. This is why they go to school being class clowns. This is why they talk a lot. I know I got in trouble a lot for talking in class. And I'm like, y'all keep being mean to me. Like the teachers, it's a couple. Y'all know you got them couple teachers that you remember. I remember my one teacher, Miss Jackson Green. She was so mean. She had them red nails. I think that's why I don't like the color red. You will never see me with red nails. Red nails are for mean people. But it's true, she was mean. She used to make us she used to make me and my friend stay in during recess and write essays. We had to write those essays so much that it was to the point where when over the weekends, when me and my friend come over each other's house, we just start writing the essays. Like, we already had the essays that way during recess. She think we writing. The whole time we already got the essay done. Like, literally a 5-paragraph essay about how you would behave. Like, I'm like, some of these teachers used to act like I was a bad child. I was just talkative because at home, I'm not seen. For one, nobody was really home. And then when they were home, everybody's in their own lane. Like, I was isolated in my room. It was to the point my mom would even be like, when other people come over the house, they're like, why Tania always up in her room? She always in that room. What's in that room? Like, that's just my safe haven. That's where I'm at. Don't nobody else want to be bothered with me, and I don't want to be a burden to no one else. And what I'm realizing with growing up to a narcissistic parent was something I was just reading in the comments on the video of the baby experiment that I was just watching. And to see how babies will pick up on the cues when you get in that emotional neglect and you're not getting seen, you're just only getting your basic needs tended to, and some babies barely be getting that, but you're not getting nobody to be like, oh, talking to you as a baby. That's why they tell you to talk to your babies, really bond with your babies, because they become hypervigilant. And when you're not giving, when they was doing the experiment with the mom and she stopped doing it, the baby began to cry and begin to look around. You're looking for anybody who will give you that attention, that love, that validation. You become hypervigilant. And I'm like that as an adult. I'm hypervigilant. I'm always assessing for threats. I'm always assessing. I'm always reading a room. And I really think that's why I can read body language so well, is because I had to read the body language of those around me, especially like my mom, to see how to, if this is a good time to talk to her. Is this a good time to approach her? Is this a good time to mention this? Is this a good time to give her a hug? Is this a good time to get close? And I think that's honestly why I'm a body language expert. Because I read body language so well, because I've had to, because that's how I know how to make my move. Is it safe to hug you? Is it safe to talk to you? Is it safe to do this? I even did that in my relationship, like with my first BD. Like, I do it with all of them, but I noticed that with him, I would instantly notice. I instantly can feel the shift in the behavior. I can instantly feel the shift in how you feel, and I'll take it personal. Because I don't want to be a burden to no one. I always felt like I was a burden to people. And this plays into your self-esteem when you feel like you're a burden, when you feel like nobody wants you, you feel like you're unworthy. Now you start to get low self-esteem as if you're always the problem. So then you resort to other things to get some validation, to be seen. This is why for me and for a lot of other women, you begin to, your sexual abuse has to do with that too. You begin to use your body and everything, but you begin to you want to be seen, you want to feel loved. And if it's like, if I have to give you my body for me to feel love, it's like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. That's how I used to operate. Now I value myself, but this is just what's real. This is what happens. This is what happens when you're not getting the love and the nurturing that you need from your very own caretakers, from your very own family, from as you grow to adults, from your significant others. Now you start to feel like it's something wrong with you. You really become to feel like you're annoyed. And that's how I deal with my, relationship. I'm like, are you acting like I'm like, is it something that I'm doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, but a lot of times people are having their own personal issues that might not have nothing to do with you at all. They might be going back down memory lane, thinking about something that happened to them, and it just triggered an emotion with them, and then within them, and now they just want, some space to themselves. But I really see how a lot of women and a lot of men, we suffer from self-esteem issues because the lack thereof love that you received as a child. A lot of these boys too, that's why they're like that. They never had nobody just tell them they love them, tell them you handsome, give them the hugs, the kisses. That's why a lot of them are emotionally detached. They don't know how to give affection. They don't know how to give love. They only believe that, and some of them don't even believe that their role is to provide. Some of them believe that their only role is to send money. I don't have to really spend time with my kids. That's what you are there for as the mom. But no, mom and dads need to spend one-on-one time with their children. You need to be curious about your children. You need to pay attention to your children. So many of these kids, this is why I be saying, even when it comes to childhood sexual abuse, you can't even see that your child has been assaulted because you're not picking up on their cues. You're not seeing the shift in their behavior. You're not understanding that, my baby normally is like this, and all of a sudden today, he or she is like distant, or they're like withdrawn. They're not so upbeat like they normally are, or you're just not paying attention to the social cues. You're not paying attention to them. You have to pay attention to your children. You have to give them that attention that they need. It's not just about providing materialistic things. That's the bare minimum. Because when you sit there and you really reflect and you realize, like, okay, like, I'm gonna just use this example for me. Now that I can provide for myself, it's like, I feel like towards my mom, towards my parents, what do you have to offer me now? Because I don't need you providing for me no more. So that was the one thing that you would use and hold over my head. If I do anything, don't ask me for nothing. I'm not buying you nothing. It was all about what you bought me with materialistically. And this is what will make a lot of us materialistic. This is why a lot of these girls can be bought. A dude waving some money in your face, and then all of a sudden you biting it because he threw you some money. You equate your worth to money. And a lot of us do. You end up equating your worth to money. Men and women will equate their worth to money, because men too, if they don't have no money, they feel like they're not loved, they're not seen, they're not respected. They say that's the only way that a men be feeling like that's the only way that they can get love, is if they're providing something for someone, providing money, providing things. And the same for the women, but it just goes to show, that it's really messed up out here. And it all starts from childhood. Childhood plays a huge role into everything that we do in our life. It plays a huge part. Telling them I love you. Opening, like talking to your children. You telling your children you love them. Telling them, just expressing love to them, giving them encouragement when they're feeling down. If they come to you about something, being that safe place for them. Just having understanding for them. And this is why we go out here in the world. We're looking for that. You got a lot of the girls out here, the only way they can get attention is through wearing provocative clothing. Well, they think that anyway. They think that. And then when the man, when men come up to you, approach you because of what you're wearing, and they do little things, and you're like, well, you shouldn't do that just because of what I'm wearing. But what you wear, how you move, how you act, it does show a lot about how you feel about yourself. And this can cause predators to prey on you because they sense the lack of love within yourself. You can be a beautiful woman. It's a lot of beautiful women. Y'all know I be watching these, I've been watching these viral crimes, more so about domestic violence relationships, how they end deadly, on viral crimes and twisted crimes on YouTube. And you'll see a lot of beautiful women, and it's like, first of all, how did you end up with that person? Like, even how, and this is when Kevin Samuels, what he was saying, I understand, like a lot of the things that he was saying, there was truth to what he's saying. Because women are so big on going to get education, you're so big on getting beautified, they all into this self-care thing. Self-care has way more to do with internal than external. Because it don't matter how glitzed up you look on the outside, how educated you are on the outside, if you don't know your internal worth, if you don't know your true value. If you don't know your true value, none of that other stuff matters. If you let anybody play in your face, you let people take your kindness and weakness, you let people take advantage of you because you don't have no boundaries. You dressed up all nice, you got all this education, but yet you still get with a very low caliber man for the sake of just having somebody because that's the first person that gave you some attention. A lot of us get caught up into situation with these guys because of he gave us some attention that we never received. He flattered you, charmed you, told you how beautiful you was, rubbed your feet, did all these, little things that they do to capture you. They see your brokenness, they see the weakness, they see that you don't really have confidence, because if you really did, it's like, they know, like, why would you deal with me? If you really loved yourself, you wouldn't be dealing with me. You wouldn't be tolerating all of this stuff from me if you really loved yourself. And men will give you the respect that you earn. That used to be my favorite song from Yo Gotti. I'm gonna give you the respect that you earn. What you make me do is what I will do. And it is. Men are hunters by nature. So for one, if you gotta set the bar, you gotta set the tone for what they gonna come in and do. If you allow them to get away with this, they gonna keep doing it. Humans, period, because it's human nature. It's human nature. It's hard being a human. It's hard being a human. So when we get the opportunity to get an easy way out, we want to take that. And once you give us an inch, we're going to take a mile. We're going to keep doing it until there's a consequence put in place. This is why I'm a big believer in consequences. I'm all about consequences. Get down. Get down before you fall. She always think it's funny. Then when her butt falls, see, like this. I'm a big consequences, learning lessons. I'm the teacher. I'm about learning lessons. Sometimes you don't listen, you're going to have to take your L. I told you get down, you won't get down. Get down. It's not funny. She loved doing some little stuff. But this is how it is. We have to learn lessons. We have to. There has to be consequences. If you let somebody is able to do something to you and you allow that continuously and there's no real repercussions for what they have done, they're going to do it again. And it's going to get a little worse each time. Just like even in the workforce, if you come in late and they let you slide that one time, you're going to end up doing it again. And now this time you might be 10 minutes late. This time you're going to go hit up Chick-fil-A, go get you some breakfast and everything before you come in there. They don't say nothing to you. You're going to keep doing it. But if you get reprimanded, if you get you an occurrence, if they give you your a verbal warning, a written warning, just off of that, you're going to make sure you up earlier. You're going to do what you got to do to make sure you get there. It's just how it is with humans. You give us an inch, you take a mile, whether it's a man or a woman. This is why men and women, you have to demand your respect. You can't be goofy. You can't be green. You can't be just going for anything. You have to know your worth. And it ain't just about how much money you have. A lot of us attach our worth to the materialistic things we have. Meanwhile, your inside, your soul and your mind is suffering. Your mind and your soul is suffering. On the outside, you look like you're worth $1 million, but on your soul level, you taking $2 crap. You letting somebody beat you down. You letting somebody treat you like a doormat. You letting somebody consistently invalidate your feelings, and you still dealing with that. You letting somebody consistently bring you back STDs, and you still dealing with that. They're literally putting your body in harm's way, and you're just still tolerating that. And then you say something to the person about it, and you don't leave them, or you don't give them no consequence to hold on to. You don't stand on nothing. You don't stand on it. You let them get away with it. They able to come hoover you back with sweet little nothings, and then they just know, oh, this is all it take to get you back. This all it take. Oh yeah, you don't really know your worth. You don't really know your worth. And when you show a person you don't know your worth, they're gonna take advantage. You definitely gonna be a doormat to them. You going to be until you finally put your foot down and learn your worth. You can't just let people just do what they want to you. You have to know that you're worth more. You have to stand on something. You stand for something or fall for anything. And when you fall for anything, you're going to get treated like anything. You have to know your worth. And it ain't just about how you look. Because that's why many of pretty girls, many of good-looking guys, they still get trampled all over. Because for one, a lot of people don't even feel like what you see about them. They don't even see that within themselves. Like I told y'all in that short video the other day, self-hatred is real. Because of how people have been treated their whole life, they begin to hate themselves because they see it's that their fault why these bad things happen to them in childhood that has now led into adulthood. So they feel like it's their fault. So now they hate themselves just for existing because nobody wanted them, because nobody cared about them. So they hate even existing because they feel like, why am I even here? No one likes me. Nobody wants me. Nobody wants to chill with me. Nobody wants to see me. I'm a burden to everybody. I annoy everybody that I'm around. Hey, can you I'm doing my video. They begin to feel like this. And then they begin to hate their own self. And then it begins to show in how they let people treat them. Men and women do this because even for me, a man that just let me do anything to him, I'm going to lose respect for you. Shh. A man that let me do anything to him, I'm going to lose respect for him too. A man that don't know his worth, a man that let anybody else just treat him any kind of way, I'm going to lose respect for you. I'm not going to have that honor for you because it's like, what is there to honor? You don't even honor yourself. You literally let people treat you any kind of way. I can't respect that. I can't respect a man who don't have vision, a man who doesn't have no type of organization for his own life, a man who just so loose, a man who can't stimulate me. We all are looking for things in other humans. We all need certain things to thrive as a human. Everybody don't have the same needs. But as humans overall, we need the love, the care. We need someone that we can feel safe with. We need someone that we can truly be comfortable around, be vulnerable with. Safety is about physical safety and emotional safety. I want to know that I can vent to you about this and you're not going to throw it back in my face later. I want to know that I can tell you what my insecurity is about my own body, about myself. You're not going to use that against me. I want to know that I can tell you about a past trauma and you're not going to turn around and do the same thing to me. I want to know that you're not going to take advantage of me when I'm already at a vulnerable state just because you can. I want to know that I can trust you to lead me. I want to know that if I get sick, you got me like I got you. I want to know these things. I want to know that I can count on you in any of the ways that I can be there for you. If I fall and hurt myself today, I want to know that you can come scoop me up, take me to the hospital. I want to know that if I'm getting surgery, you're going to be on standby for me. You're going to be there rooting me on through everything in life. I want to know. That's what emotional safety is. I want to know that I don't got to figure this whole life out by myself. I want to know that you can teach me something, lead me. That's what emotional safety is to me. Might not be, for everybody, but most people, you want to feel safe with that person. It's not just about physical. If a burglar come in, you want to shoot them dead for me. Because that's possible, but it's not probable. It's not, 9 times out of 10, that's not going to happen. It can happen. It definitely happens to people, especially depending on where you live at. And this is the world we live in. But more of the harm for me I've had more harm done to me on an emotional level than on a physical level. And 9 times out of 10, the physical, the safety that I needed from a person, the abuse also came from that same person. The same people that's supposed to be the ones that protect me from other people, from stranger dangers, those are the same people that actually hurt me. Those are the ones that try to inflict harm on me. But overall, a lot of this stuff, it stems from childhood. You got to pour into your children. You got to pour into your sons. You got to stop feeling like these boys just don't have no feelings. Humans have feelings. All humans have feelings. Starting from a baby. From the moment when they in the womb. They feel, you can feel when you're talking to your baby in the womb, they move, they kick. And a lot of people don't bond with their children because of some of their own traumas that they have been through, or because of how they got entangled with the person that they even pregnant by. You can't let the feelings of who you pregnant by affect how you treat your children, because it's still a blessing for you. I could easily sit there and say, oh, I hate my baby, hate both of my kids because of what their daddies then did. No, because I love my children so much, it gives me grace. I try to give grace to these guys, because it's like, look what we made. Like, we really went half on a baby. And then the things that they do, the things my kids do, it just make me be like, wow, like, you really my baby. Even though they get on my nerves sometimes, they do their stuff sometimes, but it's just like, wow, you really mine. It's important to bond with your children on an emotional level. It's not all about what you can physically do for them. It's the memories that they have for you. It's spending time when you don't even have no money. You just spending time going for a walk, playing little games, hand games, talking to them, rubbing their little head, kissing them on the forehead, telling them you beautiful, pouring into them, speaking words of affirmations over them. A lot of these boys haven't been poured into because you got mamas and daddies that's so busy chasing work. You put money over your kids. You value everything over family. But in the end, when you have nothing, you are going to have your family. It's about what do you value? Work has never came before. I will deuces to a job. They already know. That's why I used to get into it, the old jobs. They already know this girl. That's why they say, you could just, if on your days where you got to clear the queue, this one I used to work at the call center. On your days, because I'm like, if y'all want me to clear the queue in office, I can't clear the queue in office because I got to go to my child. I got to go pick my child up. And my child come first, period. Me wanting to be this type of mother, be stay at home with my kids, I prayed for this. And this is why I be saying I'm so grateful for everything that has happened and transpired in my life, because I'm able to, ever since COVID happened, I was really able to become that stay at home mom. Even though I was staying at home before, because I had a work at home job where I would stay home 3 days a week and go in office 2 days a week. But I still had to give so much time to the phones, to the job where I'm pushing my daughter out. And I remember her just coming to the door. She was her age. She just coming to the door, mommy. And I'm like, go sit down. Mommy's on the phone. Like, go sit down. And I'm just giving so much of my time. Then I'm working so much overtime because I'm trying to stack up to get out my mama's house or just trying to get stability again. Please don't mind my little rascal here. I just took her out. But I'm thinking, I appreciate being able to have this time that I have with them now. Like, it's just a beautiful experience. This is something I always wanted, because my mom was never there. I wanted to find a job, find a career for me that allows me to be able to be home, be there, be present. Come on, go ahead, on. You're not distracting me. And when you present for your children, when you giving them that attention, when you giving them that love, they don't have to be out here seeking it from all these people out in the street who using their vulnerabilities to prey on them and actually bring more harm to them. They don't have to be out here seeking love in the wrong places when they getting that love at home, when they getting that attention at home. My daughter knows she feels safe. She knows she can call on mommy. She knows she can call on daddy. Even her dad. It's interesting how, you know, because it takes both parents. Both parents really do need to be present for the child. They really do need to feel that love from both. But the neglect that we face from childhood, it gets passed on if you don't do something to change the cycle. This is generational things. A lot of times our parents were emotionally neglectful because their parents were emotionally neglectful, and their parents were emotionally neglectful. They felt they were doing their job because they simply fed you. They simply clothed you. That's the bare minimum. And then that teaches you to go out here in the world and accept the bare minimum from people. Well, at least you do this sometimes. At least you come through sometimes. You know, at least, and some, not even sometimes for some people cases, but it teaches you what to accept. Everything my parents did is the same thing that my significant others did in these relationships with my significant others. It's the same thing. It taught me, it set the bar. So are you going to set a low bar for your children, or are you going to set a high bar? Are you going to teach your children to have self-esteem? Are you going to get to learn how to have self-esteem? I'm going to be talking more about this because we do. To see, like, a lot of women just use their bodies. A lot of men out here, they use their body, use their money. It's ridiculous. It's only making you get used for what you're good for, and then get taken advantage of. It gets you used, take advantage of, and it makes people treat you less than. And you do have to give, people will only give you the respect that you earn. Respect is earned. It's not a given. Kindness is given. Respect is an honor. And if you're not something worth honoring because of the way you treat people, and because of the way you treat yourself, you have to work on you. You can't allow people to treat you any kind of way. You can't go for anything. And like I said in that video yesterday, religion teaches people to stay in toxicity. These toxic families, they teach you, oh, it's family, blood is thicker than water, and they teach you to stay in things that are toxic, that continues to deteriorate your mental state, that continues to deteriorate your mental health state. And that's not okay. That's not okay. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to love yourself. This is why it's important to do the healing. Because a lot of these issues that we face, it stems from childhood. Childhood is the most important time of your life. It's where you're getting groomed. You're getting molded through the everyday treatment that you're facing. You know? It teaches you how to have certain type of attachment styles to other people. Some people, like I know, some people will get too attached too fast, and some people would take them a while to really attach to you, really to feel safe with you, really to love you, really to want to open up to you. Because a lot of us don't. I know that's how I am. It's like, I don't get close to people. I can't really get close to you. I don't trust a soul. So it's like, I really can't get close to you. I only trust me and my children. You know, even with them, they so clingy. So my daughter, me and her dad be talking about that, because we'd be like, okay, like, and it's like you don't want to shut her down because she's expressing her love. My daughter is going to express her love. She's going to tell you she loves you 1,000 times a day, literally. I'm going to literally start counting and giving you guys a tally mark of how often she says this a day. She's so huggy. She's so affectionate. Like, but it just goes to show that she's receiving that love. So she knows how to give it. She knows how to speak kind. She's just, because she's receiving it. And a lot of us, we only do what we were seeing, what was done to us. This is why you got the hateful people out here and you got the sweet people out here. You got people that are hateful because people was hateful towards them. So hurt people. Their parents neglected them. Now our parents neglect us. They don't tend to our emotional needs. Then it teaches us not to tend to our emotional needs until you break the curse. This is why it's about breaking these generational curses, because we don't want to keep passing on. We don't want to keep trauma dumping trauma onto the next generation. At some point, somebody has to break it. You know, that's why a lot of these people, like I said, as I watch these viral crime things, a lot of these people are deranged. These men out here, women too, deranged because of just harsh treatment. Feeling like, dang, nobody loves me. Everybody hates me, so I might as well just spew this same hate out to everybody else. I'm out to get people too. I'm getting revenge on everybody else, because a lot of times, a lot of us, we don't hold our parents accountable because we don't want to even see them. Ari, can you be quiet? We don't want to even see them as these, for who they really are. We don't want to see them for who their true character is, because it's mom and dad, it's grandma, it's our family. We don't want to see them as these type of people. We want to believe that they're really good people. Because if we believe that our parents are bad, they set the tone for us. So if our parents are bad, that means everybody in the world is bad. But if our parents are good, then we think everybody, for the most part, is good. They set the tone for how we interact. They set the tone for everything. And if we don't get what we need from them, we're going to go out looking for it from everybody else. And that puts you in a place to still get used, abused, taken advantage of. And when you don't know your worth, because nobody ever taught you your worth. They never talked to you, had real conversation with you about the preciousness of your body, about your time, energy, all of those things. Your money, your time, your brain, your energy, your body. Those are all important factors. Those are all assets, your greatest assets, especially your brain. You never let anybody infiltrate your brain and get into your brain and get you to do things that you know aren't right, that you know goes against what your system is telling you is right or wrong. You never let somebody get in your head and manipulate you into doing other things that's not of integrity. You don't do that. But a lot of people have been so manipulated since childhood that you don't know what's right. At this point, you don't know what's right or what's wrong, because who you learned it from. Some people think their behavior is okay because that's what they saw. That's what was done to them. So they think that that's okay. Until you get to a place where you grow up mentally, get some emotional intelligence, you realize that was not cool. That's not right to do that. That's not right to treat people like that. Would I want that done to me? And some people are operating like this because it was done to them. So I didn't want it done to me, but it was done to me. And because it was done to me, I didn't ask for that to be done to me, but it was done anyway. I didn't like it, but they still did it anyway. So now let me go ahead and do that to somebody else. It's not right, but this is how the brain operates. This is why you gotta train your mind. You gotta get mind control. You have to take back control over your own life. You have to take back control over your mind. You have to, because your mind is your greatest asset. Your mind tells everything else on your body what to do. Your brain runs everything on you. What goes into your brain, what you let into your body feeds your soul. So if you coming up with if nothing but negativity is coming into your brain, if you soaking up nothing but negativity, if you soaking up nothing but that type of stuff, it's going to affect your soul. You're going to begin to weaken your soul through what's coming in, what's penetrating you. Come on, boom. That's what you're gonna do. You know, it's really serious. It's really serious. It's really serious because it's important to pour into your children. You either gonna make them or break them through your actions with them. In the video, it was talking about how babies literally at one point, like if they don't get the affection, they don't get the touch, they will die from lack of touch. And a lot of people face that now. You're just craving to be touched. Not even just penetrated, you know, not through a sex way, but just intimacy. You craving just intimacy, hugs, kisses, just to lay on someone, just touch. They craving it because they never received it. And it make you feel, it brings you to a comfortable state when you feel safe when you can feel like, oh, I can rest on you, I can lay on you. Everybody's looking for that, men and women. Men like to be able to lay on a woman sometimes. Women like to be able to lay on a man sometimes. Just to feel like, oh, I'm safe here. You know, we looking for safety. Everybody is looking for safety. And it's unfortunate that many people didn't even get it from home. And now you're out here looking for it in all the wrong places out in the world. And these predators are out here looking to take advantage of your weakness. They sense it within you. Like I was saying earlier, this is how you get a lot of these high educated women. You get a lot of these people out here who make a bunch of money, but they still so upset, still so angry. They still tolerating any type of behavior. They still doing anything to be seen. They still using their body and everything just to get some type of attention. And that attention, they never receive attention growing up, so they eat it up. Oh, you want me. You want me. This is why girls be believing that just because a man shows interest in you, like calling you pet names and, you know, talking about how good you look and talking about what he would do to you. A man that wants to simply penetrate you don't mean he wants you. He ain't trying to be that safe place for you. He wants you to be that safe place for his meat to come enter into and pour his spirits onto you, them unclean spirits. That's what he wants. Just because a man is interested in, you know, men do that all the time. Men just do that. They just, I mean, and it be these Hispanic men too. I think they honestly worse than the black men. Black men do cat calls and do this, but them Hispanic men, child, they are hounds for real. That's why I don't know who, they might got our black men beat by that, but they need some self-control. They just be looking, oh, my knee, you know, just, they be doing too much. They be ready, hot and ready. Like, calm down, Little Caesar, calm down. This video, you know, got pretty long, but overall, you guys, we really do got to work on our self-esteem. Learn to pour into yourself and learn to seek validation from no one other than God. That's who you really need to be seeking the validation from. And you got to heal. Because until you start your healing process, you're going to keep accepting some of the same things. You're going to keep using your body. I just was looking at, I look at some of my old pictures and you could just see the Jezebelness on me. I'm like, just such a Jezebel. It's so funny. I was looking in my old, my old archives on my Instagram, and that's why I leave my pictures up. I don't got much on Instagram, but I'll leave it up just because I like to go back and see, you know, how I've grown from a certain state and see what I used to do. And now when I go back looking at it, I be like, girl, just relax, calm down. You just doing too much. And I remember when my ex actually hit me up in my, he commented on one of the videos in my, one of my stories, because I mostly used to post on my stories. And he was like, girl, calm down. Like, and I was like, shut up. But now when I just looked back at it and saw that, I was like, He is right. You do need to calm down. You're just so seductive for no reason. Just seductive. Just, tongue ring. Just doing too much. And it's just like, looking back now, I be like, you definitely Jezebel-y. Like, when I look back at some of my old pictures, I be like, girl, the Jezebel is screaming. Like, you just seductive. Using your seduction to win them over. That's what I used to really do. Use seduction to win you over. Like, yeah, all right, on one side, baby. That's why I don't even want to be, I'm just so not into all of that intimate stuff no more, like, cause baby, no, I see how I used to dress, and like this one picture I got, I'm like, my nipples was out, like in the pic, like with the shirt, the fishnet shirt I had on, my nipples was out, and I'm really thinking I'm sexy. I'm really believing that that's what sexy is, because I'm showing my body. And I even remember one time, my first baby day, on my birthday one time, I was going out to hang out with my friend, and I had on some little shorts, little shorts, cheeks hanging, and I had a little long thing on, but he was like, you don't need to wear those shorts. I'm like, there ain't nothing wrong with these shorts, like, and when the men are saying stuff like that, it's because they know how other men view you. They know. So it's like, they know how other men are going to view you. They know how people, and now that I'm on this side, now that I've had an awakening, now that I value myself and know my worth and know that I'm more than just my body, I'm more than just giving my body up to people. Like, I now realize I don't owe you my body. I don't owe you this mine. Well, I'm renting it. This God, and God don't want me, God owns my body, and he don't want me just lending my body out to any old body, to you, and you. Nor do you need to be revealing it to you, and you. And this is why they do say leave stuff a mystery. These days, the girls on Instagram, ain't nothing a mystery no more. They on here in lingerie for their birthday, lingerie online. Like, why do you think that you need to be online in lingerie? Why do you feel like you need to be so provocative with your body? It's this whole my body, my choice, just do as you will. Those are tricks of the enemy. Satan believes in do as you will. Just be promiscuous, be seductive, show all your titties, show all of that. Make everything about sex. Only be valued for your body. And then when you get up from the bed, you feeling less than when that dude only wants you for that. When he can't, after a while, the sex get old. Using your body to get somebody, that's not going to keep them. Especially when it's being so handed out. Everybody just giving out their bodies. Okay, what else you got to do after that? Even for men, you good. You might be good in the bedroom too, but okay, after we get up out the bed, what you got to offer me? Can you teach me anything? Can you stimulate me? How can you lead me to the next level in life? How can you lead me spiritually, lead me mentally, lead me physically? How can we grow? How can we truly grow? It's more than just you getting hard and penetrating me and let's having a rendezvous, and then after that, it's like, what's next? What's next? You don't have nothing to offer after that. After you give up your body to this one and that, well, what do you have to offer after? What do you have to offer after that? How can you teach this person? And I just see it a lot out here. The girls is just using all the vanity, they're using everything to try to will people in, but that's not what's going to keep them there. That's not what's going to give them the respect that you're looking for. It's just you showing up like another little yeah. Like I saw one video, the guy was talking about, it was doing an interview. Y'all know how it's always this men versus women thing, and like I was just talking about with the outfit, the guy was saying like, y'all be wearing anything and y'all don't listen to what y'all man got to say. Y'all think you're trying to be controlling because he's giving you some advice and he's telling you shouldn't wear that, and the girl was like, no, not every woman's like that, because I will take into consideration what my man is saying. But he was like, let me tell you something though. The thing is, the good girl's standing too close to the hoes. And that is true. You got ones that really ain't about that whole life. You really not that type of girl who give up your body like that, but you got all these friends that you hanging around who are very promiscuous like that, who are very Jezebelish, and they're sitting around waiting to just throw their coochie to this one and that one. They effing dudes just for, they giving up their body just for a couple dollars. They don't have no value on their body. But once again, that goes back to their childhood. A lot of those same girls are some of the same very girls who have been molested. They have been taken advantage of. They have felt like they wasn't worth nothing but their body. And that will take effect onto how they interact. That's what they believe they're good for. I was operating like that. I'm like, I know if I get you, for one, I know my personality alone. Once you come in my life, you gonna want to stay in it. Like that's just what's gonna happen if I give you that opportunity. Like, I never got that close to most guys. Like, out of all the dudes I done had, I only been in like 4 serious relationships. And both of, my 2 baby daddies and then my 2 high school boyfriends. Other dudes in between that, I get rid of them. Like, I really wasn't trying to even get close to them. Like, I normally don't try to get close to people like that. Like, even with my baby daddies, it wasn't meant to be that long, but it's just they got around me and they just wanted to keep coming around, and that's just what it was. But I wasn't intentionally looking for that. None of them, honestly. None of, like, when I get all my 4 boyfriends, because if you ain't ever met my mama, you was never my boyfriend for real. Like, and only 4 dudes ever met my mama. My 2 baby daddies, my 2 high school boyfriends. Those are the ones that she met. If you ain't ever met my mama, you wasn't serious. That means I didn't take you serious if I never let you meet my mom. I didn't take you serious like that. You was just something to do when it was nothing to do. That's when I was on Jezebel type stuff. Like, you just something to do when it was nothing to do. That's really how I carried it. I never get emotionally attached to these guys. I literally was the type of girl who, I can have sex with you and don't have no feelings to you, and had no feelings. I can never talk to you again after this, as far as I'm concerned, because it was just something to do when there's nothing to do. It was just something for me to do. But when you think about it, it's like you still, mixing spirits with these people, and it's still like they don't even need to have your body if you don't even like them like that. Like, it was just literally something to do. And that sex should not just be a hobby. I'm gonna keep going about this because we gotta get our self-esteem going. I already made this video an hour long, but overall, we gotta stop equating sex, looking for value through sex, because sex is just that. Sex is like a accessory. That's something extra. That's something extra. That's an accessory to your core values, to what you really have to offer a person. Because once you remove the sex, it's like, okay, what's after that? Because at some point you're going to get old and you're not going to be having that much sex. And now you're going to have to provide actual substance. You're going to have to be great. You're going to have your finances in order. You're going to have your emotional state in order. You're going to have to be spiritually kept. You're going to have other things in order. You're going to have responsibility. And if you don't show that you're responsible, I don't want to even be bothered with you. So it don't even matter about the sex. What can you teach me? How can you get us about this situation, especially as a man that's supposed to be a leader? How you gonna lead us? What are you doing what vision do you have for your family? So this video is an hour long, you guys. I really want to keep going, but I'm gonna just leave it here. Overall, we need to get it together. We need to do some healing so that we can fix this brokenness within us, so that we can increase our self-esteem, so that we're not attracting predators, that we're not attracting people that just want to take advantage of you. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces.